Now, Glasgow's economy is lagging behind European rivals, partly because of problems with the bus network. That's according to the Centre for Cities think tank and the Get Glasgow Moving campaign.
They're calling for Strathclyde's buses to be brought under greater public control to help pay for less popular routes. Our transport correspondent David Henderson has this report.
Waiting for a bus. More of us take the bus than any other kind of public transport, but in much of Scotland it's a service in decline. Now, a new report from the Centre for Cities think tank and campaign group Get Glasgow Moving claims that's impacting on jobs and prosperity.
What this report shows is the economic gains that can be made by providing a world-class public transport network, because it enables people to participate in the economy who are currently shut out of it. So we can't afford not to do it, and we can't afford not to do it in terms of our climate targets as well.
In Carmyle, on the edge of Glasgow, they're seeing fewer buses than before. This community isn't alone. Over recent years, Scotland's bus network has shrunk, leaving many passengers unable to go where they want, when they want. The numbers are stark. Across Strathclyde, passenger numbers were down by a third in just a decade. That's 70 million fewer journeys. And bus fares rose by a quarter in real terms in 10 years. That's up much faster than the cost of living. So could that change? From December, Scotland's transport authorities will get new powers over how bus networks are run, meaning they could copy Greater Manchester, where a franchise system's now in place. There, operators are told where and when to run their buses. The goal, a more frequent and joined-up service at all times of day.
The more frequent, the more on time than the last ones. The last ones used to be late all the time, where these ones are more frequent.
I found it really good. It's a lot better now that you can see the stops at the top. All the buses have changed, and now there's more buttons you can press to get off the bus, so it's easier to get off the bus, and the new app as well.
Here, Strathclyde's Transport Authority, SPT, says there's a strong case for changing how the buses are run, and they've looked to Manchester and Dublin for ideas. But will it take millions more in funding to make all this work?
I'm not going to preempt that.
Millions of pounds a year.
Millions of pounds. We already spend in Scotland not far off £500 million on public transport for bus. That's a lot of money, but it may well take more. So we need to understand what that is before we actually take ourselves into that commitment. But recognising that we do need to make a change. So it's how do we fund that?
Strathclyde will see a plan for change next spring, and it could mean a network similar to when these orange buses were on the road a generation ago.
David Henderson there with that report.